in diagnosing the mountain pests, and also a big deal in the mountain is wildfire mitigation.
Yeah.
People that are set up, you know, with trucks with, you know, great horsepower for dragging a chipper up and down hills, that kind of thing. There's several companies that do that.
So if you were to have something kind of like between a bush and a tree, and then you're not sure what it is, and you like it, but it starts to just hypothetically encroach on your deck, and then your husband wants to take a chainsaw, what would you say?
Well, if you like it, maybe don't let him use a chainsaw on it.
Okay.
I mean, hand him a pair of snippers,
Okay.
or call an arborist, and in that kind of situation, you probably wouldn't need somebody with commercial liability.
Okay.
Maybe just
Unless they were planning on using the chainsaw.
and then you probably wouldn't want it all.
No.
But yeah, a certified arborist is a good idea,
Should we
even if
do
you're
it
dealing
like
with shrubs.
If we miss the fall, should we wait until spring, or do?
Shrubs are probably okay to prune anytime.
Okay.
Yeah, and that there is a whole lot to say and talk about what to prune when.
Yes.
Just to sum up a couple quick concepts. Fruit trees are generally winter prunes. Evergreens are pretty much any time. Deciduous trees are most of the summer and most of the winter. Short time that you want to leave them alone in the spring and fall. Those are just like the most general things I can say about when to prune what.
How far ahead do you book? Are you booking now? And
Yeah,
really busy?
I still have winter slots this winter, but the end, if you want to do fruit trees, it's good to get on it, because the end of the dormant season, the winter season when all the leaves are off the trees and they're dormant, it has a very specific end, and then you don't want to work on apples and crabs in particular, and pears, until the following dormant season. So if you want to do fruit trees, definitely get on it and think in terms of, you know, like 2 months out.
Do you charge for a consultation, and if so, what is that?
There's sort of a gray area between a consultation and an estimate. I think of it as an estimate is a consultation that leads to work, or looks like it probably will or could. And estimates are free in our industry. They should be free. And a consultation is going out and, you know, spending time talking about each of the plants that you have growing and what might be going on with them. And it's completely independent of any work that would need to be done. And I generally just charge a flat fee of $40, which is, you know, it's a lot less than I charge for pruning, but it's, you know, it's talking, and it's a way of meeting people and getting out and looking at trees, which I love.
Aside from calling you every 2 years, is there something you wish homeowners would do for the trees?
Well, I'll let you in on a little arborist joke. It's kind of insulting to non-arborists, but the joke is, what is Colorado's worst tree pest?
Humans.
Yeah.
That's good.
You know, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. I actually like it when people prune if they know what they're doing. I don't like coming around to a tree that's been hacked year after year and is in really ugly shape, because a lot of times it really limits what I can do with it. I'm not really able to. I can take a step towards rehabilitating that tree, but there's a lot that I can't undo. And so I guess what I would like homeowners to do is if they want to work on their trees themselves, which I think is great because I love pruning, have an arborist give you a lesson. Read, but some hands-on instruction is a really good idea, and I do teach.
Thank you.
How do you feel about non-natives? I guess a couple things that occurred to me. I'm in a rental house right now, has some aspen trees in it, which would normally be here, I mean, that were native to the state. And then the backyard has European ivy growing up trees. And, you know,
Yeah,
smelling them.
right. Well, if we were to stick with only trees that are native to Boulder, we'd have like 3 or 4 to choose from. So I guess what I think is that you know, and the other thing to think about is that humans don't even belong here. So well, I guess that's not entirely true. There have been humans here for a long time, but you know, there's so many organisms that don't belong here. Fox, squirrels don't belong here. You know, we just wouldn't have much if we wanted to just stick with natives. So I guess in the interest of biodiversity, non-natives are okay in my book. There are certain invasive non-natives that I'm fine with removing, you know, wholesale even if need be. But yeah, if we didn't have the Siberian elm, we would have about 50% less shade in Boulder, and that's not the exact figure, but significant loss of shade. So the idea is to not let the invasives take over and promote diversity, because there have been many communities that have planted monocultures and been wiped out by a bug or a bug fungus combo that comes through.
Can pests and diseases be spread through the mulch of trees that have been mulched and then taken off site?
Very good question. Theoretically, it could happen, but all the experts, the forest pathologists and entomologists say that it's not going to happen. And that's based on, you know, current insect threats. And you know, as far as fungus goes, either a fungi feeds on live wood or it feeds on dead wood. If you know, if it's in chips, if it's growing in chips, it's probably not the kind that's going to, you know, grow in live wood. There are new pests that we don't know much about. For example, the like I mentioned, the insect fungus combo, like the Dutch elm disease. There's a new one which you may have read about in the paper that's attacking black walnuts in Boulder. It's called thousand canker disease. It's an insect that carries a fungus, and we're still learning about that. There's another boring insect that's raising havoc in the east called the emerald ash borer. We don't have it here, but it is shown to be transportable in wood chips. So when I answer that question, I'm talking about what we have here now, not in the east. So theoretically it's possible, but we don't have any evidence that that's happening in our area.